Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome to my channel. I hope you guys are having a great day. It's been one of those days where I have been so behind, and I am so sorry for that. We are going to get started and talk about Collin Gosselin because remember last week when John was on Entertainment Tonight and he sort of tipped his hand to Kate and he said, "You better not make me go there." And then he said that he had all of this evidence and information that would basically paint her as the bad parent in regards to Collin. Well, now suddenly the same organization that has exclusives with him is releasing a bombshell report, and this one is really whoa. I can't believe this is actually like out there right now, because this was published by the Daily Mail, and they have basically listed out what Mr. Collin went through when he was in his mother's custody, you guys, and it was not good. So back in 2018, a report was submitted to the Court of the Common Pleas of Berks County, and it had this entire report related to Collin and what he experienced while he was living with his mother. So if you remember back in the mid 2015-16 timeframe, Collin was abruptly sent away, and Kate was in the media and she was just like, he has some special needs and, we really can't talk about it. And well, at the end of the day, and she was very vague. And then John, for his part, was constantly online and saying like, I don't know where he is. She won't tell me. I want to know where he is. And then he finds out where he is by someone connected to his son at the facility that Kate had placed him in. And it was a roommate that had like sent out a hand scratched letter from Collin basically saying like, please get me out of here, Dad. You're my only hope. I want to get out of here. So there was this report that happened around the time that he gets out, as there's kind of sort of counseling going on to help figure out what he's going through and with the ongoing custody issues between John and Kate related to Collin. Well, he is apparently attributing everything to Kate because of this specific report. Now, I want to make something very clear, is that even the details in this report were provided to the Daily Mail. This report is also not led to any sort of charges against Kate because there was a lack of evidence, apparently. Okay? So here's what happens. Collin has some meetings with some of his therapists, and they are talking with Collin about what he went through as a child. And apparently he tells them that, he was not treated the same as his siblings. He says that they were like, so here's what he says. He says his mother treated him differently than his other siblings, removed him from playtimes with his brothers and sisters, and often made him sleep in a closet or on the basement away from his family. So they apparently say that because the way that Collin had been branded a bad child, so Kate decided to sort of target Collin because he was the bad child that needed punishment. And he was apparently, so it says Kate's sources claim that Kate then branded Collin as a bad child in need of punishment, and that the boy felt that he was seen as not deserving as the same affections as his siblings would receive because he was still talking to his father, John. So Collin and John have this relationship, and she is basically, according to this report, not kind to him because it's sort of like this maybe retaliation that you're talking to your dad. I don't want you to talk to your dad. And so they do a ton of testing, and they end up diagnosing him, they say, with chronic PTSD that was related to all of the proverbial crap that she put him through. So he says that he develops this sort of fear for his mother, and he sort of has a reaction to his mother that is based in fear, which is consistent with PTSD. So it's really kind of shocking though, because one of the things that it says is that he was shamed and humiliated over his behavior, and that led to his behavior deteriorating, and he behaved out in public and in school as a result of what she was doing to him. And apparently they tried to contact Kate's attorneys, and Kate says that we can't talk about it. But anyways, there was like relentless targeting of Collin by Kate, apparently. And they say she was very physical with him as well as psychological with him in terms of what she did to him. Now, she says that there was a reason why Kate wasn't really involved in the sort of custody, because Collin literally wanted nothing to do with her, and she had sort of like put him away so that she didn't have to deal with him. But, you know, John and Kate kind of like battled heads on Collin because he didn't like that he was being labeled as difficult and stubborn, and he didn't appreciate the way that she was treating him. So one of the things that they say, that when he would get frustrated from like with him, she basically would put him in a chair and like zip tie him to the chair, allegedly. So she also is like, and forced him to sleep in the basement and in a closet. So my heart like fell into the floor when I read that part, where I was like, wait a minute, you put little like zip ties on your baby and you put him into a chair so he could not move? This is redonkulous. And it says that there was the reports came back unfounded due to lack of evidence, because I don't know, maybe he was recalling the stuff that had happened to him years before. But can you imagine, like, if this is all true, like a little boy being ostracized and singled out because he didn't comply with what she wanted. He didn't follow the rules. As John says, that she basically, like, he wants to talk to his dad. She doesn't want him to talk to his dad. And so then he gets the brunt of her anger. That's wild. So other sources confirmed all of these things. John did not comment. Now, the interesting thing is John has exclusives with the Daily Mail. He said that he couldn't comment on this specific report, but he did say he could verify that it was in existence. So it's so sad. And it makes me wonder, like, why she would just, the hypocrisy of all of this. Like, if she targets Collin and then she puts him in this situation, she doesn't want to deal with him. He wants to talk to his dad. She doesn't want him to talk to his dad. She was hard on him from the very beginning, from the time he was an infant, even in her journals talking about, throwing him into his crib and that kind of stuff. So it makes me wonder, like, and then she puts him in this institution. She doesn't contact him but twice. She doesn't go to any of the custody hearings. She basically shuns him from the family, and that she told his siblings that he was crazy and that they should also do the same. So not only is she is she ostracizing him from the family, but she's also now poisoned the siblings from talking to Collin. It's okay. So obviously this didn't result in any charges against her, but there's a lot of evidence suggesting that this happened, because there are reports that claim that this did happen. The question is, like, poor Collin. And why? Why would she go on the offensive and act like she was so, the good parent, when this is what the reality for him was? Sleeping on a floor, locked in a closet. That's not okay. And why has it taken this long for this to come out? If this information has been known, why was she allowed to still be on TV and make so much money by the exploitation of her children? Imagine that. Imagine that. And now this poor little boy has all of this, like, stuff that's in his head from all of this, his childhood stolen from her. And now he's dealing with the ramifications, and John is sort of left to pick up the pieces. And that is the part that makes me so sad in this entire situation. So the proof is in the pudding, I guess. Now, Kate has not responded, and her attorneys would not confirm or deny this. They just said they could not talk about it. So, what are your thoughts? Does this surprise you? Does it not surprise you? Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.